So we're here with Eric, and Eric, can you tell us about your role at GM?
Yes, I'm a Vice President of Diversity. My responsibilities are to coordinate, lead, and assist our leadership in making sure that diversity and inclusion is part of our DNA.
Cool. So you work with suppliers, dealers, but you kind of work, I guess, also at a high level because you're doing stuff with the foundation as well, right?
Yes.
Okay.
We're working with a number of groups. We're working with our dealers, we're working with our suppliers, and we're also working with our marketing. We're also working with our communities that we do business with from that aspect, and we work with our employees. We're very much involved with them to try and assist them in making sure we create the appropriate environment that they feel appreciated, that they feel like they're a part of, and they're part of the GM family.
Okay, cool. So what a lot of people actually don't know is you guys are involved in supporting STEM education as well. Can you tell us more about that?
One of the big areas that we see as a big void within the country essentially is the lack of kids, students that are actively engaged in learning in science, technology, engineering, and math. And so part of our focus is trying to work with various educational groups, work with different advocacy groups that are working in those respective areas. Part of the thing that we've done is with the Buick Achievers Scholarship Fund is we are giving out essentially $4.5 million this year with a focus on the STEM areas, because we feel that if we're going to grow, if we're going to compete, we've got to have kids, students, and graduates that can really come to work for us in those areas and have those skills and learnings.
So we were talking about not only you guys' focus and dedication to STEM education, but also to design as well.
We absolutely work with a number of art and design schools because we're constantly looking within General Motors, as big as we are. I mean, we have people that we're always reaching out to, whether it's for design, for engineering, for legal, for sales, for marketing. I mean, we're a huge company. But one of our great areas that's important to us is we have 5 design studios around the globe. Is we're looking for people who have the knowledge and have the ability and have the skills and education to be designers for us, because let's face it, if you have great products, if they have the styling, that's what draws people to you, and then of course you got to sell the value and those kind of things to get them to buy your product.
Right. Very interesting, mainly because technology and design are both two fields where not a lot of minorities, specifically African Americans, are involved in.
Well, that's exactly right. And that's one reason why our Global Vice President of Design is Ed Welburn, African American, the highest ranking designer within the industry. And he came up through very basic environment with his family and that type of thing. And 8 years old, he designed a car.
Wow.
He sent it into General Motors at the tender age of 8 years old.
Wow.
And he still has a copy of that, and they found it where he had sent it into General Motors, and his lifelong dream was to be a designer. And it's kind of a rags to riches, however you want to phrase it from that aspect, but someone at that early age that came from an environment where it wasn't encouraged. There was no one in his family who had done those kind of things before, but it was a desire of his. And to now be essentially the senior vice president of global design for our company, the highest ranking position of any automotive company in that area.
Cool, very cool. So are there any other initiatives, from a recruitment standpoint or even from promoting within that you guys have coming up specifically that you kind of want to leave with the Black Web 2.0 audience?
Well, essentially, I mean, we're working through our talent acquisition folks. We're reaching out to a lot of different areas. Again, a lot in the STEM areas. We're hiring 1,000 engineers between 2011 and 2012 because of the technology need we need around the Volt, about lithium batteries and those kind of areas. So we're spending a lot of time reaching out, developing associations with key institutions that have students that come out of that curriculum and understand it. So I can tell you we're very aggressively reaching out and trying to find, whether in historical black colleges, different schools that might be in predominant Hispanic areas, something of that nature, because we're wanting to develop diversity and reach out to those institutions that can provide a good cross-section of students for us.
Okay, and so people can just go onto the regular GM site to find out about these jobs?
They absolutely can. I mean, it's gm.com, and you go into the, I don't know if it's jobs or what the specific next website is, but yes, it's anytime anyone applies, if someone calls me, we tell them to go into gm.com, specifically go into employment, I believe it is, and it'll give them outline as to various jobs that GM is looking at and how to apply.
Okay, and you can also follow GM on Twitter at GM. Thanks, Eric.
Thank you very much.